Baggedmilk, how you doing, my friend?
Good morning. Doing well.
Don't let me forget to bring up the Oilersnation 15th birthday bash coming up here in just a bit.
Well, I was going to say, have you recovered even yet from Toronto?
Yeah.
So.
I'm still, you know what? I'm running on 5 and 6 cylinders, so I feel by the weekend I'll be back and ready to go.
So here's my question. Do we want to have a conversation about the Leafs game, or do we just want to forget it and move on and focus on the fact that they had a pretty decent win at home last night over the Sens?
Listen, here's the thing. I like Hall and Oates, but in that environment, when the Oilers allowed that many goals in the second period, I didn't want to hear it anymore. So we were in a suite in Toronto, and I went to the buffet, man. I just was piling back steaks. I would call them sympathy steaks. We were eating everything in sight, just crushing drinks to try and get as much value out of that thing as we could. But yeah, Saturday was a tough one. So to the Oilers' credit, I was hoping that they were going to come out a little bit salty last night against the Senators. The Sens had struggled recently. They were playing their third-string goalie, so I was really hopeful that the Oilers would go into that game with a chip on their shoulders. Nice to see that they came out with a 6-3 win. The big boys came out to play last night, and they cashed in a big one.
Connor McDavid introducing Nickelback into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame the other night. It was nice to hear him talk about how much he loves playing in Edmonton and everything else, but were you surprised that his favorite band is Nickelback?
I was surprised about a lot of things with that. It made perfect sense to me that he would be the one to present Nickelback. He's a star. The Junos were in Edmonton. I don't know that I believe him, but I appreciate it.
You know what I'll defend it. And not that I feel like I need to, because I like Nickelback. Nickelback is what it is, right? But I had this conversation yesterday on the podcast that I do in the afternoon. There is an unnecessary amount of hatred for Nickelback based on what they are. They are what 100%. They are. They've never tried to be anything other than what they are. So the amount of hate that we throw at them as Canadians is unbalanced and doesn't make a lot of sense. Right? But there's been a shift. So Grant's age group, millennials and you, there is a huge hatred, and it became kind of cool to hate on Nickelback. But I think you guys went too far, and now what you've done is you've swung the pendulum the other way. So people coming up, like my daughter and her age group, which is right around McDavid's age group, they love Nickelback. My daughter has a Nickelback t-shirt. If they go to Toronto, she's going to go to that show. She doesn't care.
She's also going to the Thomas Rhett show, though.
I get that. Do you want to bring up some of her other shows she's been to? I slowly die inside when you tell me, when you remind me about my country music fan daughter. It kills me. But the point being is, I think that age group doesn't care about liking Nickelback and getting the hate back about liking Nickelback. I just don't think they care.
You're 100% right. I've never been a guy that hated Nickelback. They're not my jam, but like they've got some big tunes. Like when they played Rockstar on the Junos, I was into it. I loved it.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was like, well, if Bieber was getting an Icon Award or whatever it was, would Connor have said Bieber's my favorite artist?
I get it.
I'm giving him the award.
I would not be surprised though if Connor is a Nickelback fan.
I wouldn't be surprised either. I just don't know that. I was surprised by it.
I don't know if the waters run deep on his music tastes, right?
Very well could be. I have no idea.
I don't think he goes home and listens to Radiohead.
Yeah.
Right?
Because when we had Evander Kane on our podcast a little while ago, we asked who ran the music in the dressing room, and it's Darnell Nurse. So it just kind of goes through Darnell Nurse's taste. So
because he's a DJ. Yeah, he wants to be a DJ. I know Chad has actually taught him DJing and stuff at some of the weather parties and
Chef. Yeah. So my favorite goal last night, and I want to see if you're on board with this, was that Ekholm Bjugstad goal. The hookup at the end of the second. That was beautiful.
Yeah, I think the thing too there's a lot to like about it. The finish by Bjugstad was really, really nice. The pass by Ekholm to get him in alone was fantastic. The thing that stuck out for me on that goal was, one, Bjugstad, he's got some finish, boy, and he's a giant dude.
Yes!
Second, I don't know that we really expected Matthias Ekholm to be able to move the puck as well as he has. He's been really solid in a lot of different ways, and I don't know that we expected him to be able to pass and move it out and have just like the offensive instincts that he does. He's not as offensive as Tyson Barrie. No one's going to suggest that, but I think he's a little bit better than maybe we expected him to be.
Well, you know what I find with Matthias, the bearded wonder, is he's cagey. Does that make sense? Like when you get him in a tight spot, he finds creative ways of getting the puck away and back on his stick.
Yes.
And that's what I find interesting for me, because you're right, he doesn't look like a naturally skilled offensive player, but you put him in a situation where he's got to dangle and move around and manipulate a tight corners, tight situation. He's really creative with the puck. Anyway, that's just an observation.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I know it's only been a handful of games and it's a
love
small
him.
sample size, and the nerds will go, it's only been 7, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I love this dude. He's fantastic.
Yes.
We still don't know where he fits in on the Swedish All Labs team that we put together every year. We haven't seen a tarps off picture of him yet, but I can only imagine with the beard like that. Come on.
Stars tomorrow night, and then the Kraken on Saturday, and you guys will be watching that game.
Yep.
An afternoon matinee game at the Pint. You still got some tickets left for the birthday bash?
15th birthday for Oilersnation. Can't believe it's been
Crazy.
15 years already. But yeah, we got a handful of tickets. So doors open at noon on Saturday. We're raising some money for free play for kids. So we're going to party for a great cause like we like to do. We're going to have a great time. The game starts at 2. Get there early because it's going to be packed in there. But it's going to be great. And nationgear.ca is where you go. But we're running out. We're down to like a dozen tickets or something like that. So these are going to sell out by Saturday for sure. And there won't be tickets at the door. So go to nationgear.ca and scoop them up if you want to come and help us raise a little bit of money for free play for kids and have a great time while we're at it.
By the way, one more thing, quickly before we let you go. Hyman, do we know what's wrong with him? Just bug, flu?
No, I have no idea. I was really surprised to see that he wasn't playing last night. So there hasn't been any news. He was just a last minute scratch. So hopefully it's nothing major, because that would be obviously a huge hole. He's a major part of this team.
I'll give you a bit of a heads up on this. You may be getting a nice surprise at the Oilers Nation 15th birthday bash at the Pint on Saturday.
Can't wait.
You may be getting
That's
a
not
visit.
ominous. That's not ominous at all.
You may be getting a visit from Peter the Leprechaun.
Peter!
Oh!
Peter! Slap me.
It is. Well, I'm really curious. Our boy Rick, it's his birthday and St. Patrick's Day on
boy.
the Friday, so he is going to look like. I'm worried about the state of him on Saturday.
Yeah, he's going to need a visit from Peter.
All right, there you go. You have a good day. Thank you for your time as always. Baggedmilk, Oilers Nation.
Thanks, boys.
The Locker Room, weekday mornings on 95.7 Cruise FM.